From grunt to boss, welcome to the Villain Ascension challenge. We must start with the only Pokemon a grunt would use. All others must be stolen until we are promoted. In this challenge, we must battle in ranked double battles in the highest tier of Pokemon. And we will achieve not only high ranks in Master Ball tier, but the #1 in Master Ball tier. We must randomly pick one villainous team to be a part of, starting as a grunt. We must make a team with Pokemon available at the grunt level of our team. They may evolve if they have participated on the battle for at least one turn. If you win a battle, you may steal one of the opponent's Pokemon that was used and was on the field for at least one turn. Stolen Pokemon are yours to use for the challenge. They must maintain that form, but can be changed in any other way you wish and remain ranked legal. Welcome to a second episode, team, and here we go. We have Murkrow, Bisharp, Urshifu, Annihilate, Amoonguss, and Miraidon. And as you can see, the most notable changes is that we caught a Miraidon and a Urshifu, and that is the main thing that changes from last episode, besides evolving the Bisharp into it and the Annihilate. And for a second episode, I think this is a really good start. Miraidon and Urshifu, Water Urshifu, are fantastic Pokemon, which should help us get some more and along our journey towards becoming the very best. So, as we see, the Miraidon has Electric Drift, Draco Meteor, Dazzling, Protect. The idea is we just want to do as much damage as possible, and Urshifu has that Surging Strikes, Close Combat, Aqua Jet, and Detect. Very typical Water Urshifu set. Besides that, not much is different. The Bisharp is good damage, and Annihilate is a very good Pokemon. So hopefully this should be enough to push us further. So, onto the battles. Welcome to the first battle, and first we have a Miraidon and a Grimmsnarl out, and we send out our Murkrow and Annihilate. So basically we have a very straightforward strategy. We use our Murkrow for speed control as necessary, and Annihilate will get hit and really do those Rage Fists really quickly. So first we start off with a Tailwind, and we're expecting to get hit, and we tear it immediately because we have a feeling this Miraidon is going to hit us with an electric move. So we're just going to tear it to grass, and it's a toss up between Drain Punch and a Rage Fist, so it depends if we're going to get hit right away or not, of whether we should do either. And we're going to go for the Drain Punch. So we tear to grass, and likely this Grimmsnarl is going to try to speed control us back with the Thunder Wave or use screens. So we'll take that in mind. We also take away our weakness to Spirit Break, which is very useful. And the Thunder Wave comes, speed control is back, so our speed is doubled, then halved, so it puts us at normal speed. And we see a Volt Switch from the Miraidon, which does boost our Rage Fist by 50. Very important. And, well, we have to hit whatever comes into the Miraidon slot. And likely it will be a again, it ends up being the Urshifu. So a Drain Punch is fine. We just heal a bit of that damage back. Although a Rage Fist would have been more damage, the Drain Punch was a little safer since we didn't know. And we're just going to quash in Seed Bomb. So the Seed Bomb is more damage right now with the Terra and only one hit, especially when we're going to speed control this Urshifu, since it's unlikely to Surging Strikes us right now. And of course the Grimmsnarl goes for Reflect to reduce what we do. Speed Bomb comes out, and it does a pretty good chunk. And unfortunately uses U-turn, but we do get a Rage Fist boost, so keep in mind our Rage Fist is 150 base power, although that U-turn does hurt. So, Also, it is more likely this your Urshifu is scarfed based off the fact that it had U-turn, very much more common with with Scarf. And well, we're just gonna have to quash again, and we're going to try to take advantage of the fact we have a Rage Fist boost, and we're gonna hit that Miraidon for a lot of damage. So even with Reflect, Rage Fist should do a lot. That's the idea. So we just have to hope that we do not get fully paralyzed, because that is very much something that could happen, and it could ruin this turn for us. And likely the Miraidon is using a Dragon move or Dazzling Gleam. And we go for the Quash. And Rage Fist, which 150 base power. It does an okay chunk. And Murkrow takes that Spirit Break as it can. Interestingly, the Miraidon goes for a Electro Drift, but we do go up in Rage Fist power boost, which is nice. And so then it becomes, what does the Grimmsnarl do? Does it set up a light screen here, or does it go for the Spirit Break yet again? And so we Quash. And it does go for the light screen this time, thinking that the Miraidon likely does something, and we use a 200 base power Rage Fist, and it's still not enough. Unfortunately, that Reflect is just a bit much for us, and the Snarl takes out both Pokemon. Also, another thing that can happen with a Miraidon in the field. So this puts us in a little tricky situation, since both of our Pokemon went down, and it makes a lot more sense, and our Tailwind goes. And we do have Amoonguss, and we do have both Amoonguss and our own Miraidon. So now we do have to keep in mind the opposing possibility of a Draco Meteor, which could very much hurt. So we're just going to redirect in case there is a Draco Meteor, and since there's a high possibility of speed time, we also have not seen the opponent Terra. So it's possible the opponent Terras to Fairy or something else, or Electric, and makes our own Draco Meteor not so good, since Dazzling Gleam is a very safe option here. We take out the Miraidon, and Spirit Break comes and hits into Amoonguss, which doesn't do much. And we just reflect some damage back with that Rocky Helmet. Unfortunately, Electric Train goes, which really does hurt our damage, especially with them having Light Screen. This is the unfortunate part of us not having an additional Pokemon right here. And Lunala comes in, which could threaten that Wide Guard. So we're just going to Protect and Spore. Simply thinking, it is very possible as Lunala sets up Trick Room. If we do, Sport will go first because of Trick Room's negative priority. Hence, we would put the Lunala to sleep and it would not do anything. So we play on that. The Grimmsnarl goes for a Thunder Wave, trying to make us less likely to do things. And it just goes for a Moongeist, which wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but nonetheless, our Protect made it safe, so we can safely put it to sleep. So now it becomes a very much, let's just do it. And we're just going to break that Shadow Shield. We're just going to do the damage we can. That's the thought here. So we're thinking that, yes, our Dazzling Gleam can probably kill, so because the Grimmsnarl is so low in HP. So let's go for it. And the reason we don't go for Spore on the Grimmsnarl is because we think we're going to kill and possibly, what if it was Terra Grass? But it is not, it is Terra Ghost. Very unexpected. So this poses a small problem, or quite a bit of problem, if we do not kill. And we do not kill. That is quite an issue. So unfortunately we get Spirit Breaked, and that puts us into really low HP, and our special attack gets dropped. That is unfortunate for us. This puts us in a sticky situation. So we just have to kind of go for our Dazzling Gleam play, but we're not looking good to live our own life orb with unless we heal ourselves with the Pollen Puff. And we're going to rely on this Lunala being asleep for one more turn. So that's a play we're going to make. Perhaps it would have been safer just to do the Rage Powder and attack the Grimmsnarl with and use a Dazzling Gleam there. Same thing, but just with a Rage Powder. And we do get to heal ourselves back up, but we are still at -1 special attack, which is very detrimental to us and our damage. And no electric terrain. So let's see. And again, it's the Urshifu. And Urshifu really means we can't use Protect. But we can't really use Protect safely, but it would protect against the Lunala. That's kind of the idea. That Urshifu likely is the threat. This is probably overall a mistake, but there's not much we could do anyway, although a Rage Powder could have done it, but the crit also kind of matters here. That so unfortunately we go down. Protect may have been a mistake, but the idea is that Lunala was probably going to wake up, and we tried to, but it didn't matter anyway. Amoonguss was paralyzed. Yeah, this is kind of the end of the road, but we try anyway. There's not much hope for this battle, but Protect was likely a mistake, but the idea was that perhaps the Urshifu does not do that, and it does not crit in that case. But the Rocky Helmet does show its what it can do, and unfortunately we're just going to die to this Moongeist Beam. So it was correct, we were going to probably die to this, but really it was from the moment that we lost both our Pokemon at the same time, and we lost the Electric Terrain and the Tailwind. So unfortunately we lose, so we'll see you in the next one. Alright, and here's another battle, and they lead Ho-Oh and Eternatus. This was some very dangerous Pokemon, so we decided to lead our Urshifu and Murkrow so we could hopefully do something about this Ho-Oh or force it to Terra immediately. So our idea is that likely it does Terra. We want to force it out, but we want to do it safely. So we're thinking about this Detect, just protect, scout out what this Ho-Oh does.
Yep.
And yes, indeed, it looks like the Ho-Oh is tearing to what we thought grass.
Yep.
So the grass tearing the Ho-Oh prevents really that Searching Strikes from doing what it really wants to do, but we safely bait out the Terra, and we get our Tailwind off. And both Eternus and Ho-Oh is a bit of a dangerous combo for exactly what our team has. So, we went for the save Urshifu.
No.
And we get Sacred Fired.
Alright.
So it looks like
Foul play.
part of what we're thinking did not happen.
Combat.
But nonetheless, we're going to focus down this Ho-Oh since the burn on Annihilate would be really bad. So that's a thought for doubling up on the Ho-Oh. And it does have Rocky Helmet. So it is a Ho-Oh designed to counter Urshifu. And the Eternatus is a Toxic Spikes Eternatus. So this
I don't
Toxic Poison is very much a problem. And I do not have, and I believe I did not bring Amoonguss in this game, so I cannot deal with it. Unfortunately, I did not bring Amoonguss here. I was not expecting Toxic Spikes because hazards are not wildly used in doubles. So, we just have to rely on Rhydon here. We really don't want Annihilate to get burned. And we're thinking the Draco Meteor is maybe a solution to this Eternatus. So, we go with this plan. So we Draco Meteor the Eternatus, and we close combat in the Ho-Oh, and perhaps this is a solution. And RNG does not like us today. We missed that important Draco Meteor. We do knock out the Ho-Oh, which was the big threat.
I mean, yeah, prevent it from dying faster, but all it really accomplishes is take care of like Murkrow.
So, with that the case, we really got put in this tricky situation, and we really go down a lot of HP with Miraidon. This is not looking great. Annihilate hates Toxic Poison since it relies on being bulky, and Dondozo comes out. This could indicate maybe the Tatsugiri could switch in, but there's not much we can do about that.
I should have Electro Drifted Dondozo because I suspect it's going to switch.
But we're going to have to rely on Annihilate to deal with this. It's really the only solution to this Dondozo. And unfortunately, Urshifu is just not looking very good now. It was good at baiting out. Baiting out the Terra, but the Protect from the Dondozo kind of dashes where our hopes and dreams. But remember, Urshifu does go through that Protect, so we still get some damage off. But this Eternatus is very much a problem. And our miss of the Draco Meteor from earlier is really showing as a problem. So Dondozo reveals leftovers, and we die to the Toxic Poison. This is not good. It is 3 against 1. Annihilate will not be able to deal with this. Not with the Toxic Poison. The writing is very much on the wall here. So we're going to surrender because there really isn't anything Annihilate can do against in this 3v1 while Toxic Poisoned. So that will be the end of this one. Just don't want to waste anyone's time.
Draco Miss mattered for sure.
Alright, welcome to another battle, and it is Ogerpon and Shadow Rider Calyrex. Our idea is that an Annihilate is bulky enough to just deal with the Shadow Rider. But the problem is our ability to Terra because of that Ogerpon. So, but this is why we are AV, and we're EV to live a Shadow Rider. So if Annihilate were to die from a double target, it would anyway. So we're going to go for our initial speed control with a Tailwind, and the problem really is that Ogre Pawn with its Follow Me. So we want to kill the Ogre Pawn with a Poison Jab.
Yeah, Tailwind Poison Jab.
We're hoping this does enough. And the Shadow Rider is actually the one that tears here. Interestingly enough, which means our Rage Fist will not do any damage against it since it's Terra to normal, but it means our Poison Jab was very much the right to play, is very much the right call here. So we go for that, and the Astral Barrage is going to be a lot of damage. We do get a Rage Fist boost. So, notably, we did not win that speed, which was not good. That's not good for us. We do get the poison off, which is very good for allowing us to kill this Ogre Pawn. So, hindsight looks like we could have Terra'd, but it is still an issue. So we're going to Quash because that Calyrex could do that again. And we're going to go for the Drain Punch this time. We're thinking maybe the Ogre Pawn does not go for the Follow Me, which it does not. It does not go for the Follow Me, just as we thought. And we get the nice Drain Punch off, but it is not enough to kill. But nonetheless, we get quite a bit of HP back, and we do a lot of damage. So, Ivy Cudgel comes out, and it goes after the Murkrow. But unfortunately, we are a bit of a sitting duck to this Astral Barrage. So, Annihilate will not live the second one, and we'll go down. But since the Calyrex does have Life Orb, it is on a timer, and the Poison does put this Ogre Pawn on a timer, and we do have the Bisharp this time. We are thinking about evolving it this game, and with that Sucker Punch being very useful, that's what we're going to exploit. So, with this, we can go for a nice Sucker Punch. We're thinking about the Ogre Pawn because it can resist a Dazzling Gleam. So this is the safer play. And also, regardless of what the Ogre Pawn clicks, but it does not, it switches out entirely, which is not great. And this Rillaboom exposes one of the problems right now with both of our Pokemon going down last turn. We lose the electric terrain, and the Calyrex protects. But we do get a Dazzle Gleam off, and we damage this Rillaboom a bit. And we still have a chance because this Shadow Rider is so low of health, and we do get some of that HP back from our Life Orb. So we're looking fine. We can double protect to get around this Fake Out. And we're thinking the Shadow Riders would likely Astral Barrage while the Rillaboom Fake Outs. So, but it just entirely switches out, which is fine. It means it resets all of its special attack buffs. And they're looking to see if we are a choice item and take advantage of the Wide Guard. But we're not. We reveal that with the Protect. And the Rillaboom goes for a Fake Out into the Miraidon. So Bisharp will live any sort of fighting move from his Zamazenta, but we do show that the Wide Guard will not be a good play for the opponent. So we're going to try to do as much damage with the Electric Drift onto the Zamazenta. Since we're going to try to take care of it, so that way our Dazzling Gleams, once the Zamazenta goes down, will actually be effective. So we tear it electric and we go for it. And our Electro Drifts will do quite a bit of damage. So good news is next turn the Zamazenta does look like in a very KO'able range. That body press is just a lot of damage. And the double up with the U-turn just is not good for us. So unfortunately, we just have Bisharp now.
Ogerpon at least dies to this.
And we can hit it with a nice big foul play. But the reason we went for foul play is because if the Rillaboom went for Grassy Glide, our own Sucker Punch would not do anything because it went first. So they bring out their Calyrex. And this is a very Sucker Punchable thing, so we're still in this a little bit because of our Sash. So we go for the Sucker Punch and we KO this Shadow Rider. But we are probably going to be taken down to Sash by this Body Press coming. And we do. And, well, there's not much we can do in this situation.
Yeah,
they still have the Rillaboom. Which has priority over us. And we're just going to go ahead and give up because there's not much we can do in this situation. Even with our Protect, we cannot KO both of these Pokemon with our Bisharp. So, with that, it is the end of the battle. And that's where we're going to end off with today's episode. Unfortunately, we did not win a single battle or steal any Pokemon, but that's okay. This is a challenge for a reason, and so I'm going to continue to have every battle win or lose. So, with that, we'll see if there's anything better next time.